Is ride sharing dead? Are you willing to share your vehicle with someone? I'm inside the 2019 Dodge Durango SRT, yes, with the big Hemi engine. And no, I'm not willing to share this vehicle with anyone. How about you? Want to learn more? Stay right with us. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix, and this is 4-Minute Friday, and here's what's going on in your automotive world. This week's show is brought to you by wheelwish.com. Check it out. This week's question was posted on social media, and again, I got some really good feedback. The question this week was, is ride sharing dead? Well, Maven had announced this week they're shutting down all of their offices. That is a ride-sharing company owned by General Motors, and they're going to leave the Detroit and the Los Angeles offices open. This is interesting considering they invested a ton of money in it, and looks like in the United States, somewhere around 5 million people have subscribed to ride-sharing services. Many of them don't use it. We all sign up for apps and we don't use them, but the fact is, ride-sharing may be something that's good for some people. You don't use the vehicle for a week, maybe you're out of town, you want to share it, you go to one of the apps, and there's tons of them all over the country. You sign up and you let people use your vehicle, and when you return, you get your vehicle back. Well, that may sound great on the surface, but there's been a lot of issues, and that's really what I want to discuss, because these are factors that are going to be difficult to overcome. So I think one of the important things is to describe the difference between car sharing and ride sharing. Now, car sharing is usually where a vehicle is shared amongst many people, where ride sharing is like Uber or Lyft. You go on your app, you order the vehicle, it comes to your home or work or wherever you need to go, and that's ride sharing. That's different. That's got its own other factors and features. When you're talking about car sharing, that's when you share your vehicle. And I'm not a big fan of that because I kind of like my car, I want to make it mine, and I don't want to share it with everyone. Now, mind you, I'm test driving this Dodge Durango SRT, and I will have a review posted. And I think if you owned a vehicle at this level, it's a very expensive vehicle with a lot of power, you certainly don't want to put it in the hands of others. Well, that recently happened, and this is why I want to get into the future of car sharing. Someone put their R8, yes, an Audi R8 up onto a car sharing service. Someone borrowed it. Who wouldn't? I'd be a hand raiser for that as well. Well, it got totaled. And unfortunately, based on their insurance policy and the insurance policy they had with the car sharing company, they had to put $16,000 out of their pocket in order to replace the vehicle. And of course, you lose an Audi R8. So that is one factor that can happen on a powerful car. All right, you don't have a powerful car. Well, recently in Boston, someone allowed their vehicle to be car shared. They took that vehicle with 3 other people in the car, and they had a very bad accident. The driver died, someone in the other vehicle got injured, and the car was completely totaled, and 3 people in that vehicle with that person were severely injured. Yeah, that's a bad one. That got settled out of court. No one knows what the real numbers are, besides the fact that there are deaths, besides the fact that there are injuries. That person lost their vehicle, and they didn't get paid out the full amount. This is where insurance companies are getting into the mix, saying, what does your policy say? And when you use a car sharing service, there's a basic, a premium, and a super premium policy. So you purchase, just like you do a rental car, and you make a decision based on how much coverage you have personally if you own a vehicle, and how much you're going to buy to cover yourself. The problem is everybody wants to cut corners, just like you do in a rental car. I want the either no insurance, or I have insurance, or I feel I have it through my credit card, and every state is completely different. And this is where we run into a lot of risk factor, not just for you as the car sharer, but the car sharee. So the bottom line is, if you think that you want to do car sharing, first check with your insurance company, find out what your deductible is, find out if they even allow for that, because you may have no insurance if you share your vehicle, because they don't know how to split it. You have to assume that the person that is renting the car from you or sharing the car with you also is a person driving that vehicle, because third-party drivers has been a huge problem, and insurance companies won't pay out no matter what, even through the app. So these are huge factors to consider, because you're not there, you're sharing your vehicle. Who the heck is driving it? Do they have a good driving record, or is somebody else driving it? So keep that in mind. Those are going to be factors that might destroy the car sharing service down the road. Again, we will be watching that. Now, we did discuss ride sharing briefly. I did note a study that just came out from AAA, and they analyzed the cost of ride hailing services. This included rental car companies as well. So they took about 10,000 people and did a study to find out what the actual costs were. So the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, that's the official title, said it focused on urban areas because they're the only places where ride-hailing services are more practical to use instead of owning your own vehicle. And so they came out with a total cost. On average, $20,118 a year it costs you in order to use a ride-hailing service to and from work instead of owning a vehicle. That's a lot. $20,000 a year, you could probably buy a pretty decent vehicle, used or new. So keep that in mind before you just rely on ride-hailing services to get you to your destination. It's a lot less expensive to own your own vehicle, even with the insurance cost, is not going to be $20,000 a year. The AAA data from the driver cost study said that a new vehicle will cost you about $7,321 for the equivalent distance and usage of a ride sharing if you owned that vehicle on an annual basis. Well, I think you better take a look before you next time hit go on that Uber or Didi if you're out of the country and you're watching this, or Lyft, or whatever company that you use. So remember, car sharing and ride sharing are great in some cases, but they don't work for everyone. Sometimes it makes sense to have your own vehicle, sometimes it makes sense to take a cab, and other times it makes sense to go to your rental car company because they're starting to get very flexible about hourly rentals because they know they're losing business to the car sharing business, and they want it, and they want to stay in business, and they offer a selection of vehicles as well. All right, maybe not Audi R8s, but they do offer some pretty decent vehicles at a pretty fair rate. Remember, if you're going to purchase a vehicle, check out the best way to buy one, which is wheelwish.com. It's sort of like the Priceline for cars. No hassle, just tell them what you want. They'll send it out to the whole country. Whoever hits, I want to work with you, you now have a vehicle at the price you want to pay. Check out wheelwish.com. This week in automotive history, April 19th, 1958, Italian Maria Teresa de Flippis drove a Maserati in the Monaco Grand Prix, becoming the first woman to participate in a Formula One event. That's pretty cool. Check out the description below for more details and, of course, links. See what YouTube is suggesting and what we've just recently uploaded here, and to subscribe, and all the social media is down below. We do appreciate your comments from last week and course for this week, and we look forward to speaking with you very soon. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Please be safe on the roads, and always buckle up.